Hey, good morning to everyone. It's Wednesday, June 7th, 2023. I want to welcome everybody to another edition of Walking This Way's Impact podcast.
Hi, good
I'm
morning.
your host, Fermi Jr., and we're broadcasting from the DFW, Dallas Fort Worth, Texas, for those who want to know. And I want to take time out to say thank you to my special guest hanging out with me this morning. She's my supervisor. She has 22 years of experience working in her career field. I had to reach out to her because 22 years is a long time. When I first met her, I thought she's a young woman, but when she revealed her age, like, wow, you look great for your age. But I thank you, and the title of this episode is Keep It on Low. So I want to welcome my supervisor, Lo Hall. Welcome to Walking This Way,
Hi.
boys.
Hi,
And
everyone.
and
Thank
we're
you for having
excited.
me, by the way, Mr. Jackson.
Oh, oh, thank you for taking time out of your productive schedule to be on here. And I said 22 plus years in your career. That's amazing, a milestone. Just you sharing your experience. We know we're in a day and age now where people get agitated real easily. They just want to give up. Feel there's gonna be greener pastures on the other side. But by you being in 22 years, what is your secret? What kept you going for so long? Where you seen people come and go?
Well, okay. This is a very interesting question. So, everybody had their 5-year plan. And of course, I was no different. I had my 5-year plan. I said, hey, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And I had a time limit. I actually went to school throughout my time throughout the county to become a physician assistant. That was my goal, and I definitely I did all my classes like super close. I had a tragedy in my family. Yes, my only sibling passed away, and I can't lie. And I teach on this here at the job, mental health, the whole nine. That was something that I did for years, but I didn't realize how much it affected me. Um, and I just stopped. I stopped. So I just stopped because I felt like, and I know it wasn't my fault, but I felt like, in a sense, it was my fault because of everything that I was doing and everything that I knew I should have known, quote unquote. But I don't have all the answers. Only God have all the answers. And I had to realize that. And the person that made me realize that was the captain at our time during the time that happened. And I so much appreciate her. And that was Captain King. It's not the Captain King who we have now, but a person who a lot of people wasn't very fond of. But for me, the things that she told me, it helped so much. It helped me so much. So I actually kind of gave up on that at the moment, and I stuck with the county. I mean, I had so many years with the county. I was like, well, you know what? I enjoyed, there were some things that I definitely enjoyed. I enjoyed teaching the mental health class, helping officers. Um I mean, I literally had officers tell me personal things that they would never tell other people. And and it's really hard as an officer because we are looked at as super strong, right? We don't have any problems. You're not supposed to have any problems. You're not supposed to feel a certain type of way. You're supposed to be mentally strong, but we're not. There are things that we go through, things with our family. We have loss. There's so many things that we have that isn't brought to the attention of upper management and just everybody around, our families, the whole nine. So I really enjoyed that. And to tell you the truth, that's what kept me going.
You
That's
know,
what kept me going.
and that's truly an honor and a blessing to hear that. I know you mentioned before I got there. I know Captain King. I know she went to well, chief. I think she went on to be a chief, right? But when I got
Yeah,
there,
she did. She ended up becoming the chief. Yes.
yeah, because I remember when you were teaching the class on de-escalation, you spoke very highly of her, and I heard a lot of officers that she brought structure to the organization, which is much needed. We know in our field, and I know you very spoke highly of her. And
Yeah.
you have some people who fight against structure, but structure is important. And I know you're the
Mhm.
type of woman who's you like officers take the initiative, ask questions. I know you're very big on hey, study this, study that, and you stress that uh, religiously on
Yeah.
that, knowing your do's and don'ts in and out.
Yeah.
And what advice will you give people who's coming up in the ranks who, hey, I want to make a career. I know some pass through, but what advice would you give someone who's up and coming, who's hungry, want to learn, and want to succeed in their profession?
So my advice would be what you've already said. Know your do's and don'ts. When I tell you knowing our general orders within our within the sheriff's department, that is our Bible. That is our Bible. Knowing the SOP, knowledge is everything. Knowledge is I cannot stress that enough. Hence the reason why I called in a favor. I asked IA to come over there to speak with officers. The whole nine, because I want officers to know. I want them to feel like they are being heard. Because I feel like without us, there is no sheriff's department. That's truly how I feel. I mean, if you really look at the structure of why the sheriff's department is there, then you will understand what I'm talking about. And I guarantee you, a lot of officers do not know. Yes, and this is not to put down deputies because they are a very integral, and they are important. They are necessary within our department. All right, but I also want to recognize our DSOs. I want to recognize our clerks. I want to recognize even down to commissary, because commissary for these inmates is all that they have. So guess what? That makes us have a good day. That's what people don't realize. Everything has everything is structured in a way for us to have a good day. And I like to say that. I like to say, and I think about this here every single time I go to work. I was like, what can I do that is different? And I'm not even gonna lie, working midnights now is, oh my god, it's so hard. Oh my god, it is hard. I worked midnights when I first started, but going back to midnights it was kind of hard, and it's definitely hard being a supervisor to officers that you were on this that you're basically on the same level as. I was a DSO, not a supervisor, prior to me becoming that, and I stayed in the same jail. I stayed in the same jail. So that was definitely an issue because people didn't see me as a supervisor. People saw me as DSO. But I had to make that line that at this point right now I'm your supervisor. I'm just not your fellow coworker. And it's not something that I want to do necessarily, but it's something that I have to do. And I tell everybody, and this is why I say it all the time. I'm going to do and I'm going to be honest with whatever I do within the county, because honesty is a part of your general orders, and honesty is what you're supposed to do. So, I don't want anybody to get hurt. I've been a victim. So, I've had my share, let's put it that way, of assault from people, and people don't even realize. And I know I'm kind of all over the place. I'm so sorry, but
Yes, are you good?
people don't realize how hard this position is. And I say this because we have so many beautiful young people there, and they don't realize how sometimes these people that come in, and I don't never say that people are guilty, because you are judged by your what?
Yeah, that's it.
You're not judged by us. You're
Yes,
judged by
that's it.
the people of your peers. So that is
Yes,
that is not up for me. And God, you know what you have done. But I will say, people will become infatuated by you. So that's why and that's kind of what happened with me. And that's kind of why I kind of got into an altercation. There was an altercation that I had where someone was infatuated by me. He was literally obsessed with me. and it was scary at the time. And I didn't realize, because I'm an officer, right? And I'm not supposed to be, I'm not supposed to feel any type of way. I literally, after I was attacked, was like, I'm coming back the next day. I was like, and they're like, what? You're coming back the next day? I was like, yeah, I'm coming back the next day. Although I could not, I literally had broken bones. Like, I had a broken bone and had some issues, some medical issues. And I was like, no, I'm coming back, because I felt like, oh, you're winning. You're winning if I don't. You're going to win if I don't. And that was my mindset. That's not my mindset anymore. Oh, most definitely. If you need help mentally, I'm such a big advocate on that. I've had friends at the county to commit suicide, and that's something that is not expressed or talked about enough, but it is very hard. I've had so many people that I've lost, that I've known. And so that's why I'm just like, man, we got to do something. This county got to do something to help these officers. But another thing I really feel like, the county got to do is they got to screen these officers a little bit better. You know, we can't just have anybody working there. You have to
Yeah,
be, you do have to be strong. I'm not going to lie. You do have to
yeah,
be
you do.
strong. And it's not for everybody. It is definitely not for everybody. If you're not used to being called the B word on a daily basis, or if you're not used to being, I don't know, seeing feces or the smell, then it might not be for you. And a lot of people just cannot help it, because they're mental. Because of Texas is not, um, they are not big as far as funding for mental health. They come to us. So we are the orderlies. We are the people that takes care of people that have mental health problems. And I really hate it. I was recently talking to a mom, or a grandma actually, that called the other day, and she was like, she was calling to check on her grandson. And although we're not allowed to give personal information, which I didn't,
Hmm.
but because of my behavior with her and how I spoke with her, that lady told me, she was like, thank you so much for being so nice. She said, you are so much appreciated. Even though I didn't really even give her much information, I gave her the number that she needed to call to get the information. But my because of me telling her that she's not alone. And I think a lot of people feel that they're not alone when it comes to people in their, that's in jail, because it's hard. It's hard when you have family that's there, when you have your son, when you have your grandson or your daughter or your granddaughter or your aunts, or it's hard. That is hard on families. So, with her saying that, it really made a difference. It really made a difference for me, because I was like, okay, I'm doing my job. Not just doing my job, but I'm doing my part as a human being, because I know how I would feel if my son was in jail. I know how I would want people to treat me. So that's how I always look at situations. So that's why I always say, when people call me, I talk. I talk first. I'm not hands on. And you're witness to that, right?
Right.
Just like the other night. What happened? I was
Talk.
told this guy was blah 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 blah. I just needed to talk to him. Now, does it always work? I can't say it always worked. No, because people are like mentally, they need help. But sometimes it does. A lot of the times it works. Now, that's something I think within our department we have to work on. We have to work on that. We're talking. And it doesn't mean that you're being friendly, or it doesn't mean that you're not doing your job. You are doing your job when you do that. That's what you are doing,
That's it.
because
And I
these people
know,
are human beings.
right. And I know you're very big on avenues who to protect officers. And I know because we know
Oh,
that
yeah.
That this job
100.
is one lawsuit, one free world charge away, and you're very big on officer safety, protecting the
Yeah.
officers.
I say
Make
what I
sure
say
it's
because I've seen
justifiable.
officers arrested in detail. So it's like, I don't want to see that for anybody. I don't want to be the person to be like, I'm gonna mention one situation. I had a close friend who I was close with. Okay, I was on day shift. Um, I got a phone call at like 3 o'clock in the morning. Okay,
Mm.
and I was like, "Hey, so and so has been arrested." I was like, "What? Why? What happened?" And they told me why. I was like, "Well, we gotta get this person out. We gotta get them out." And so I went through every avenue. Although I know this person's parents already did it, but me being the friend that I am, oh no, I was up there. I left, I got dressed. I told my husband, I said, "Sweetie, because of our policies, I cannot bond her out. But if you don't mind bonding her out, I will give you the money." And that's exactly what happened. But her parents bonded her. Well, oh Lord, I said her. Well, that person's parents bonded her out. So yeah, and it ended up not even being her fault. All the charges ended up being dropped. Um, but it still caused a lot of problems. But there are officers that I have known that are to this day going through legal situations with stuff that has happened at the job. This is a very important job where you can be arrested, where all those documents, that everything that we write, they are legal documents. I cannot stress it enough. You know, I cannot stress it enough. Lying is the worst thing. And that is what they tell you. Don't lie. Just tell the truth. That is the main thing. No matter what the case, because it can be explained. And that's how I always see it. Um, Someone asked me, and I've been there for 23 years. Will make September. In September, it'll be 23 years.
Congratulations on that. Congratulations on
Thank
that.
you. Thank you. But someone asked me, why haven't you ever taken the sergeant test? And right now, I'm just an acting sergeant. I'm not an actual sergeant. I'm not a legitimate sergeant. And they asked, why haven't I taken the sergeant test? Now, this is gonna sound crazy. The reason why is because I've always felt like I'm not gonna be a pawn. I'm not gonna be a pawn to what people tell me to do. If it's not right, I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna do what's right, and I'm gonna do what's, basically in the general orders. I won't be a pawn to what people tell me to do, especially if it's wrong, especially if it hurts an officer, because I'm such a big officer advocate. But you know what? I'm also a human advocate as well. So I'm not here to hurt anybody. I don't want now, I can say my officers, I don't want my officers to end up in a position to where they are in trouble or hurt anybody or they get hurt. So I'm just like, no. So I was like, well, you know what? I've done pretty much everything within the county. I've been pretty much everywhere. I started the dog program here, at the county. I don't know if you know about it, but it was something that was to help these inmates. It's something through inmate programs, and it was we were in pretty much we worked with Grand Prairie Animal Shelter, and I love dogs, like I love dogs. So I love animals, period. People look at me crazy when I'm like, we're gonna throw this rat out. It's like, we're gonna throw this rat out, but they're like, kill it. But I'm like, no, we're gonna throw it out. Yeah, they're looking at me crazy, like, are you freaking kidding me? You're nasty. But I'm just big on that. Like, no, I'm not. My children, they're like, no, mom, we're not gonna kill it. Like, they literally are like, don't kill an insect. That's how big we are over here. But But anyway, so like I've been everywhere. I've done a lot of stuff, but as a supervisor, I've never done it. I've never done it. I was like, you know what? I thought about it. I was like, there are things that I can do. There are things that I can change, especially with our captain now. When I tell you we have a good captain, we have a good captain, and they listen to her. And people don't realize that. They listen to this woman because she's intelligent. She's a good captain. She was my sergeant. I remember when she first became a sergeant. I was over there. And trust me, I gave her a report every single week. So she know me. She know me. I gave her maybe like 3 or 4 a week a report. So, she's such a good captain. And it's such an honor to work up under her. And that's one of the reasons why I am where I am. They, sometimes when let's just put it this way. Sometimes when you are in a job, everybody want you to do certain things or be certain things, but she fought for me. And let's just say, yeah, she fought for me. At one point, I don't know if you know this, but I actually did run for sheriff. I did. And I had so much support, but it was some things that happened. I can't discuss that right now, but I'll tell you later. But
yeah, on the back
I
end.
did. Huh? Yeah, but I will
Yeah, on the
let you
back.
know. But I did. I had a lot of support from officers, a lot of support from, I had financing. I mean, I literally had it all. So, but I had this discussion with my husband and he said, Lo, I know who you are. I remember this here like yesterday. He said, Lo, I know who you are. And I know the type of person you are. Now don't look at me as I feel like I'm holier than thou, because that's not how I feel. But I do believe that, what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. So he said, I know who you are. You're going to be in a position where you're going to have to do things where you don't want to do. And you're going to be forced to do things where you don't want to do. Are you ready for that? And I thought about it for so long, and I think I never thought about that. The only thing I thought about was, oh, I'm going to do so much for our DSOs because they are underappreciated. I'm going to do so much for our clerks. There are so many ideas I have for our deputies. That's all I thought about. I was like, well, damn, I didn't think about that though. I didn't think about that. I was like, no, you know what? You're right. I can't do that. But because of the support I got, I couldn't turn around and be like, I'm not going to do it. I can't do it. No, that would suck. People gave their time and their support. So I'm not going to do that. But still, God makes things happen for a reason. And I always say, you either block it or you bless it. And guess what happened? It was blocked. And it was a good thing it was blocked. And that's all I'm going to say.
And it
That's
is,
all I'm going to say.
and it is because I
Yeah.
know anytime a situation go on, you always there. Even though you're surrounded around us big tall guys, you the smallest one there. but you hands on, and a lot of times they say, no, we got this because you're a sergeant. It's like where I come from, we look out for our sergeant. It's like I know
Yeah.
you get your hands dirty, like no, we got this. Like give us orders, whatever. But you always there. You always front of
Thank
the
you.
line.
Thank
You've been
you.
there, and I gotta give you a roses for that because you
Thank
talk
you.
to these individuals, they listen, and they just going without no hurt, no injury. You didn't have to write nobody out that hey, this officer got hurt or injured.
Mhm.
Everything being secure. So I appreciate
Thank
you for
you. Thank you. Thank you. Even though I feel like I'm like 6 feet tall, just like y'all, but still. I do. I do. I do want to say something. This is kind of off the topic,
you
but
good.
this is for your viewers. Please, if you don't know anything about NAMI, please familiarize yourself with NAMI. Um, They're excellent. They're excellent. I was one of the first, actually, I was the first DSO to receive an award from NAMI. So,
About that.
like, and yeah, it was such an honor. It was such an honor, and that is the if people don't know what that is the National Alliance of Mental Illness. So please familiarize yourself with that. They need help. Volunteers, if you have any type of issues, your stories, anything, because you never know what might happen. You never know how your story might affect another. So please familiarize yourself with that. It's like I have these awards, but they mean nothing if we don't do anything about it.
Yes, ma'am.
So it's just like it's just an award. It's just an award. So that's why I'm just like I that's why I try to talk to different people. Um, I try to tell them my story. I actively do things outside of work. So it's like and I feel like I have to. And one of the most important reasons why I do this here. Oh, he's gonna hate me for saying this here. He's gonna hate me. He's gonna hate me. But I gotta say it because I feel like it's so important. Um, I say about 2 years into the mental health issue. Um, I have 3 children. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, yes, yes. I'm a mom, and yes, I do feel like an old lady
No, you're
because
not.
a lot of stuff I don't know what to do, so I have to ask my kids to do it. But I always tell my children, and my children, I never went through the situation where my kids. I had bad kids. Like they were always open. I did not have situations where I my kids were good. I can't even lie. I had good kids. They
That's a
did what I
blessing, though.
asked them to do. That is such a blessing because I hear so many parents talk about their children, especially in their teenage years. And I dreaded that. And I prayed about it. And I was like, man, you know what? Thank you, God. Thank you, God. Because my kids were actually really good. Um, but they talked about me. They talked about everything. Like we talked about everything, everything. Um, but one of my children was going through a mental health crisis. And I always teach as a mom who is strong because I come from a matriarchal type of family. My people, they're matriarchs. I guess that's where I get it from. I don't know. But that's where I get it from, you know. I'm very strong will. I talk a lot about a lot of different things and I don't let people deter me from what I have to say. But I teach my children the same thing along with my husband, of course. And he's such a great father. And I'm so blessed to have a husband who is such a great father because he is such a great father to our children. Great father. I can't complain. So I never really I never whooped my children. I didn't whoop my kids. I didn't do it ever. If I what the closest thing to whoopings, because I got my ass toe up. Excuse my language, but I got whoopings,
Yeah.
okay? But the closest thing to whoopings was maybe a hit on the hand, and that was it. That was it. Anything else that I said it with a stern voice, and they listened and they did what they needed to do. So one of my children was going through an issue in high school. And I was like, I couldn't understand it. Now, mind you, I'm teaching other officers to talk about your problems, blah, 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 blah. But I'm teaching my kids something different. I'm teaching them, no, you be strong. You don't allow this here to help you. And I really realized you're being a hypocrite. You're being a hypocrite. So I had a talk with God. And I was like, God, what am I doing wrong? And God opened my eyes. He said, this is what you're doing wrong. This is what you're doing wrong. And this is why it's affecting your children. This is why it's affecting your child. So I had to really talk to my kid and was like, and I apologize because that's something that a lot of parents don't do. They do not apologize to their children. And I apologize. I said, I'm so sorry for not really listening to your problem or trying to understand what your issue is. I heard you because I didn't want them to think that I didn't. I heard them, but I couldn't understand why it was such a big old issue. So I was like, I'm so sorry because if it's important to you, then it's important to me. And I want you to understand that. So I started thinking, I was like, you know what? Okay, what do I need to do? I need to get my child help. We're gonna call the counselors. We're going to set up this here. And when I tell you it helped so much because kids can't always talk to their parents. They can't talk to their parents about a lot of stuff. But afterwards, it helped my child so freaking much. That's why right now, a lot of people don't understand why my kids are so close to me. They don't get it. But this is why. This is the reason why. Now, am I a perfect parent? Absolutely freaking not. I made mistakes all the freaking time. Yeah, yeah. But they do too. Yeah, yeah, they do too.
Right.
But I made mistakes all the time. I make mistakes all the time, but I try to be the best parent I can. So I try to actually use that at work. I try to say, okay, what can I do to make this officer feel better? That's why I like I give props to officers whenever they do good, whenever they do well. I'm like, and I wish there's so many. I wish I could give like I don't know how to do positive PNCs just yet. I'm learning. I'm learning. I'm learning. But the stipulations on positive PNCs are different. They're different. And I wish a lot of officers knew that. But there are so many officers that have done so well that I give them props. Whenever I see them, I'll be like, when I tell you you're doing a good job, oh, I mean it. I mean it wholeheartedly. I'd be like, "Oh, you're doing a good job. Thank you, thank you. You are doing excellent." I'm not giving you bullshit. I'm telling you the truth. So it's like,
Right.
and I try to tell these officers, I try to even like small things. I'm like, hey, make sure you do this here because I'm not just speaking just out of my ass. I'm telling you this here for a reason. I'm telling you
Hmm.
this here for a reason to try to give you a heads up. Make sure you are in compliance with this. Make sure you are doing this because if when the next time I tell you this here, then I have to write you up, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that because I've been that officer. I've been that officer who has been defiant. So, like, what? Well, if you're not going to tell this officer, then don't be telling me. I've been there. I've been there. But now I know better. That was my younger days. That were my feisty days. So, but now I know better. Yeah, I do.
Yeah, 'cause I want to ask you that. So, how was that transition from being a DSO to being a sergeant? How was that transition from now? Okay, I was the rank of the DSOs. Now I'm in this. 'Cause I know a lot of time when people had that transition, some people it's like you more hands on still. You're not
Hmm.
well. I'm on out here and y'all do this. You actually comes in hands on. So how has that transition to being from okay
Well, do
DSO
you
to
do you
sergeant?
mind if I ask you this question?
Go ahead.
How do you think my transition was? Because I think that's the most important. I can tell you what I feel what my transition was, but it doesn't matter if the officers that I'm trying to lead doesn't feel me because you can follow me because of my position, but you have to be able to want to follow me because of everything
Right.
that I do. So,
Like I
And
said, it's been awesome.
I'm okay. I'm okay with you being honest. Please be honest.
I'm being honest. It's awesome. It's just pretty much you really hands on. You awesome. You come in, you speak. You don't tear people down. You don't belittle people. You don't. You just treat everybody the same. That's what I get out of. That's just my opinion and my experience. It's pretty much you make people feel wanted and make people feel welcome. That's what I love
Thank
about it
you.
because it makes
Thank
them feel
you.
important. So
Thank you.
that is, I'm being honest
Thank you.
on the show.
Thank you. Thank you. I
Yeah,
will say this. It was I had to humble myself. I did. I had to humble myself. You know who I had to humble myself. Let's put it that way, because who I am and who I was trained by. I had to humble myself. I told myself, I'm gonna give myself a good 2 months. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna learn and observe and listen. But after that, no, no. Now, mind you, I'm still myself. I'm still gonna be myself. But things that I observed from other supervisors, oh, trust and believe me. Oh, it's been said. It's been said. Now, has it been said in front of you guys? No, no. And I feel like it shouldn't be, because that's something that should be discussed between supervisors. So if I feel like a supervisor is being disrespectful, and there are other supervisors that have said it. So I really, really, really wish this shift would know this. So, but if they don't, I'm telling you right now, I'm telling you right now, when there's disrespect, it is being said. It is being brought to the attention of the supervisors. Hey, you could have said it this way. And people are learning. People are learning.
yes,
So,
ma'am.
and I've had supervisors ask me, well, what would you say? Or how would you say it? And then when I say it, they're like, well, dang, you said it perfectly. I said, yeah, I've had practice though. Did you think that I've had practice? Because I didn't always used to speak that way. I was tough. I was rough. I mean, you have to understand something. This place can have such an effect on you. Such an effect on you. You can it can change how you feel about your family. It can, like, at one point, my okay, so we my family thought I was like kind of crazy, because they'll see certain things and they'll bring it to my attention. I'll be like, oh, okay. And they were like, you don't feel no type of way about it? I'm like, no. They were like, something's wrong with you. Like, what is wrong with you? I'm like, well, I mean, you got to understand something. There are things that I see on an everyday basis that I feel like I'm numb to at this point. I'm numb to it. So it's nothing to do with you, but I'm not gonna laugh at a person that is doing something that is outrageous in the public, especially when I know how it is in the jail. I'm not gonna do that. So, and they're like, oh, something's wrong with your mama. Uh, oh, something's wrong with mama. No, ain't nothing wrong with mama. It's just, I get it. You become untrusting of a lot of people. You recognize people when they say, hey, boss lady or boss man. I'm just like, you're about to fix my food. I feel some type of way.
Mm,
So, there are things that I'm just like, I don't know. We're gonna, I don't know. But I give everybody a chance. I'm nice to all servers. My husband was a server at one point, and that's how we lived. And I was like, well, you know what? Man, when I tell you we tip, and that goes for
okay.
anybody. I recall a situation where this guy told me this here. He came to me and he was like, I was Franklin then. He was like, Miss Franklin. And I almost had like, who are you talking to? My name is Hall. But he was like, Miss Franklin. I was like, oh shoot, that's me. But okay. And he was like, I'm sorry, it's dark. And
Nah,
he told me, he said, do you remember me? And of course, I did not remember him. I didn't remember him at all. And he said, you told me years ago, a couple years ago, he said, You told me, and this is when I first started like saying nice things, because I never said anything to anybody. Like, like I was like, oh well, do what you want to do. Like, I don't give a shit. Like, whatever, that's your business. Like, literally, that was my whole. That's how I was, because I worked on and I guess that's one reason why I get in there, because I used to work on a CBO floor. I was the training officer on the CBO floor. And a lot of people don't. A lot of people know that, but they don't realize what that entails. And that was like the third floor. I was one of the first females going out to Parkland. I was the first female to go out to Parkland 3, 4 times a week out of a 5-day work week by myself. So it taught me a lot of things, and it taught me to be strong about a lot of things. But it also taught me bad habits. It taught me it taught me not to do things in other ways that I could have done things. And I give this, I give it, I swear I give all the praises to the mental health class, because it taught me different ways to see things. And I was taught, and I'm gonna have to give my props to my to English. He's at MedOps. Kay Smith, who's now she worked for the Marshals, City Marshals. Sergeant Presley, and when I tell you Sergeant Presley was the bomb, Sergeant Presley, she is now retired. Nolan, he used to work there, but he has his own business now. Um, and my homeboy, I don't even look, I can't remember his last name, so don't get me wrong, but he's a police officer in New Orleans right now.
Okay.
Sheck Snyder. Sheck Snyder. I wanted to say it correctly, but I had to give my props to them, because they brought me in and they showed me a different way, because I was like, this shit is not going to work. Me talking, huh? Who does that? Me talking to an inmate who, what? You crazy as hell. No, we just going to get hurt, blah, blah, blah. No, But they taught me so much. But yeah, no, going back to what I was saying, um, yeah, my kids thought I was crazy. I thought I was crazy. It was like, oh, you don't respond to things that normal people respond to. Your reactions are different. You, and I recognize that. I was like, yes, I know. But the reason why they don't know is because I don't come home and not talk about it. I don't talk about my job to my people. That might be something I need to do so they can understand, but I don't. I don't. It's so bad, Jackson. Like, I don't watch any type of prison shows. I don't watch any of those, because I don't want a reminder of where I work. And
Right.
it's not because it's bad. It's just because I get enough of it. I've been there for so long, and I don't want that negativeness to affect me. I don't want it to affect how I respond at work. So, that's the reason why. That is the exact reason why. So, I'm just like, okay, well, if you feel like I'm crazy, then I guess that's what it is. Like, because I'm not responding to someone who's acting out or acting crazy. No, I'm not. But yeah, I do. Like, I'm the person who, like, when I see people out there and I know they have mental health issues, I'm the one who goes into the grocery stores and buy them freaking groceries. Yeah, I've been yeah, I've been told, why do you do that? Because it's my money, and I'm gonna do it.
Right.
So okay, and what? So
But I have to apply you because I said you keep yourself up well, you take care of yourself. I know in this field can be stressful because you have seen officers who start off get all gray and be all stressed on all these different medications, but you keep yourself well. And what is your secret? I know this is a stressful environment when you're dealing with the inmates and the officers. So how do you keep this youthfulness going?
well, it's genetics. the only thing I can say. As far as me mentally, I guess, I mean, I pray about it. I definitely pray about it. And support of my family is support. Whether or not they know the issues or not, support. That's the biggest thing. Um, and then recognizing what is right and what is wrong. And when you become older, you realize the shit ain't right. And karma, I'm a big believer. And I don't know, I know you probably see me, but baby, look here. I'm into my songs, okay? 100%. I'm I'm a firm believer in karma. I'm a firm believer in karma. When I tell you I have personally, I can actually talk about this now. I don't know if I should, but I can talk about this now. But um, I got pulled over by the police, and it did not it did not turn out well. Let's put it that way. I I have not had a drink in over 5 years. 5 years. It's just, and I think it was prior to that, but definitely when COVID hit, because I've had COVID 3 times. It made me lose a taste for a lot of things. Like I used to eat hot stuff all the time, but I can't do it anymore. It made me stop drinking coffee. I just didn't have a taste for it. I did not want to drink anything. So because of my medical issue with my Achilles, and I had 2 tears in my Achilles. And when I tell you it was bad, it was really bad. My legs were so swollen. I got pulled over because my ass gets sleepy at night, okay? Because I suffer from insomnia. So they told me I ran through a stop sign, which I did. I know I did. They literally pulled me over because they said I ran through a stop sign. I was like, yeah, I know I did. Okay, where's my ticket? So, but the guy who pulled me over, he wasn't bad. But because of the city that I live in, it got to be more than one.
Right.
He was an asshole. He was an asshole.
Mm.
And so they literally asked me to get out of the car. And I was like, what? Like how I'm talking to you right now, Jackson? I'm talking to you like right now. I was like, huh? Get out of the car. I said, sir, it's like 20 something degrees outside, but okay. And they asked me, I don't have no reason to lie.
Right.
So they were like, where are you coming from? I said, you know what? And this was like right after my grandmother passed, like maybe 2 months. And I was like, well, my friend invited me to a party. Well, it wasn't even a party. It was to a restaurant. We went to Papa Do's, for God's sakes. I literally had a salad and a water. I had to literally go get my receipt just to prove that I didn't have anything. And I didn't drink. So I was like, oh my God, are they about to do a freaking sobriety test? Like I was like, I can't believe this is shit. They literally had me do a sobriety test. They did. I was like, huh? But because of my Achilles, I couldn't walk. It was 20 something degrees. I was going through treatment for my Achilles. I was like, I can pull it up on my chart so you can see it. It's like, it's legit. I'm not lying to you, sir. I don't take any type of medications. Like, I'm very like, here in this house, we only eat certain things. Like, and that was one thing I like, we don't eat pork. We don't.
Okay.
I only started eating beef because I felt like my bone. I don't know. I just felt weak. So I was like, maybe I need to eat some beef. So I eat beef in small amounts, but we weren't eating beef. We were just eating vegetables, chicken, and fish. And that's it. And I eat once a day. I feel like that's what keeps me young. That's what made me. I have no wrinkles, but my grandmother had no wrinkles. My mom had no wrinkles, so I think it's genetics. So this dude literally was like, "Okay, I need you to walk." I said, "Sir, I can walk as best as I can, but I have Achilles issue. I can show you on my medical chart if you like. And I was like, I didn't have to because that would really violate my HIPAA. But I was like, okay, I don't mind showing you. I was literally around the corner from my house. So, and he was gonna let me go. He was gonna let me go. But the officer who was the asshole was being an asshole. These suckers literally was like, oh no, you don't pass the sobriety test. I said, what? I said, are you fucking kidding me? He really wanted me to act up so bad. Act up so freaking bad. Jackson, when I tell you he wanted me to act up so bad, I was like, this is how I know officers like you, sir. And I didn't tell him where I worked because, I was like, I
Right.
don't want you to think that that is the whole reason. I'm not going to tell you where I work. But yeah. Okay, do your job because guess what? It's going to be dropped, which it was. Um, yeah, all of that shit is gonna be dropped. So it doesn't matter. But did it cost me $7,500? Yes, it fucking did. So, and I'm sorry because I cuss a lot.
I know you.
Um, so, but yeah, it cost me a lot of money to get that situation resolved. But I mean, I'm like they literally refused me. I said, okay, so I was being an asshole after they was like, well, we're gonna take you in. I was like, well, I'm gonna make you work for your job, sir. Well, they showed me. They showed me when I realized that they were about to take me in. They were like, they were like, you cannot it's like a form that you have to fill out where you refuse to take to go to the hospital because they said you can't do like the blow-in test that you have to get blood test. I was like, look, I'll go to the hospital. I'll go because I don't even fucking take Tylenol. Like I don't take Tylenol, I don't take ibuprofen. I hardly ever take that stuff. The only thing I take is Nexium and stuff for my migraines. That's it. So I'm just like, what the hell? And that was just recently. And I was
Mm.
like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, I can't believe it. This dude literally was like, okay, so this is why I say you gotta learn your laws because I didn't know. I did not know. This dude gave me on a scale, they do like a number scale on how quote unquote you are drunk, I guess. Like they literally thought I was drunk. I was like, I didn't even have anything to drink. I literally had a water and some salad. But okay. So they gave me an 8, which was the highest. That means that I'm falling out, that I am just like they literally and immediately I called IA. Like while I was there, I had my husband call internal affairs because that's what you're supposed to do. So
Okay.
I was like, I need you to call my job because I don't want them to think that I'm hiding anything because I'm not. I want them to understand what's going on. So I did that. And yeah, they did their investigation. I was like, here's my proof. Here's my medical situation. Here's everything that you need. What else that you need? Whatever else that you need, I'm willing to give it to you. Whatever. I mean, like it was the whole nine. I was just like, are you fucking serious? But yeah, that's what happened to me. Now, of course, a supervisor obviously ran their mouth, and this is why I don't tell people business. When they tell me stuff, I keep it in confidence, okay? Unless it's something that has to go to internal
Right.
affairs or whatever, but whatever you tell me, it's in confidence. I don't tell other people business. I don't. So, Lord have mercy. A supervisor had to tell it, and they did. And this is why I tell people to always remember their general orders and their always remember just everything. So, of course, rumors started, and I know who started it. So I was like, I'm not going to write you up But what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to this person because it started from this person. I said, I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to tell you this here right now. According to your general, and I quoted, I said, according to your general orders, you're not supposed to blah, 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 blah. So, what do you want to do? You either apply, you know, follow your general orders, or I'm going to write you up. Because if I hear anything else, I am going to write you up. Like point blank, period. Point blank, period. I'm not going to have anybody saying that I am this or that. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
The
ma'am.
only thing that a person can say is, "Oh, she's sleepy," and that's it. Ain't shit in my blood. Test me right now, sweetheart. I'm okay with that. So
Right.
I was like, man, So it's okay, and I can talk about it. I definitely can talk about it because it is what it is. I'm not going to lie about it. So I understand it. Yeah.
Right.
So I refuse to lie about it because I'm not a liar.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
yeah. So it's all good. It's all
It
good.
is. Most
Hmm.
definitely. It
Yeah.
is. I know. About to get ready off the air. I know. It's going on 23 years that you've been.
Hmm.
So, what is next for Miss Lowe? What's the next phase, the next chapter after it's all said and done?
Retirement. 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 Um, I've actually been thinking about going back to school for counseling to become a counselor. I think I would do well in that. I mean, I'm so close as far as my classes and everything. I don't right now. I actually can be to be a PA. Only thing I need is 2 classes. That's it, and then apply. And that's why I was so hurt. I was so hurt, and I blame myself because I only needed 2 classes, and I had people. I had someone willing to help me because, and this is something that I really, really wish that a lot of people know or knew. Um, there are they're looking for minorities. They're looking for minorities in the field. So, um, not a psychologist because it's a big old difference, but a psychiatrist at 45 years old. Okay. He is making over $250,000 a year. He's in Florida, and they are paying per year his schooling.
Hmm.
So, oh yeah, it's crazy. But he is bilingual, so that definitely helps. Um, yeah, I done got real personal in this here interview, but I want people to know that look, I'm just as human as anybody else.
You are.
I don't want people to think that I'm not
I know.
because I don't have shit to hide. Whatever it is, what it is. I'm going to freaking retire. I'm going to enjoy what I need to enjoy. If I choose a different career, it will definitely be on my own, and it will definitely be something where I want to do. But I will give the county props. It has taught me so much. It has taught me so much. A lot of I have gained a lot of friends. I've learned a lot as far as laws are concerned because after that situation I had to learn. That's something that I actually wanted to do as far as the high schools. I wanted to um, like create a program to
Okay.
teach kids on what law enforcement can do because like my oldest son, my oldest son,
Yeah, yeah.
he works
Very
there,
great guy.
but when he was younger, he was illegally searched a couple of times. He's had a gun pulled down him. Yeah,
Yeah, I remember
the
you
whole
shared that
nine.
in the class. You had
Huh?
taught. I remember you shared that in the class you taught 2 years ago.
Yeah, yeah. I'm just like, are you freaking serious? And you know what? He didn't tell me anything except the gun situation because he was like, well, Mama, I don't know. I just did what they told me to do because you worked there. I was like, no, that's not what they were supposed to do. So we as a community, us, we need to know more about law. We need to feel like we just need to know more about law, period. Period. Because if we don't, then we're ignorant to it.
Right.
We're ignorant to it. Also, also, I want to say, I do want to say this here. I keep on mentioning this whole mental health thing, but it's so true. We need to stop telling our kids that that makes us weak. It doesn't make you weak because we all go through stuff. We all go through stuff. I've had stuff happen to me as a child. Um, did it affect me? Yeah, it did. But I'm where I'm at. I'm where I'm at, and nothing, nothing is gonna stop me. Nothing. So you can do it. So if you can say if I can say I done been through it all, Lord, I done been through it all, and I feel like God has really had. Like, I'm like, God, you really trying to teach me something. I literally almost died 3 times, not once,
Oh
two,
wow.
three times. I was just like, God, but I'm still here.
Yeah.
I'm still here. I've gone through stuff that I should never have gone through as a child. Um, Shit that has happened to me as an adult. Hence the situation with my Duncanville Police Department. Them folks right there. Yeah, I'm gonna say yeah, it was them. Yeah, the whole nine. Because not everybody need to be police officers.
Right.
Period. So, but as far as the sheriff's department, I will say this one thing. As far as the people that has been arrested, I will say this here: being a DSO first and then becoming a deputy, I feel like a lot of inmates they appreciate that more because they don't get in issues that and that's one reason why you don't really if you really look at it you don't really hear a lot about us in the news except for maybe inspection or some stuff. I
Right.
mean, think about it.
That's true.
Yeah, think about it. Because those officers, they have experience within the jail. So they know these inmates. They know how they respond. So I give my prop to the deputies that are out there that are risking their lives and the whole nine because there's a lot of people these days, they do not respect us at all. They don't respect DSOs, definitely. And they don't respect deputies.
It's true.
So they are putting these people are putting we are all putting our lives on the line.
We are
Yeah.
every
So
every day we are. And I said, I applaud you for what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing, which I know you are, of course. Just making the best out of it. Like I said, that long in your. I mean, did you ever want to be in law enforcement? How did they ever? I know you mentioned it, but you just. I mean,
how it happened?
yeah,
Okay. Oh my God, this is so funny. Okay, so during college. I was like I was working 2 jobs. I was doing home health and I was working as a receptionist. But I was only
okay,
making like $8 an hour. And to me that was a lot of money, right? Because
right,
hey, back in then, it was like
yeah,
1996. I was like, oh, that's a lot of money to me, right?
hmm,
Especially since I was at home. So God. I saw this here ad. I actually, you know what? I went for jury duty and I saw some security guards. And I said, hey, how do I do what you do? And they said, well, you go to the city. I went to the city. I asked them. They were like, no, you go to the sheriff's department. So I was like, oh, okay. Mind you, I never went to a jail before, nothing, ever. I don't know anybody in jail. I've never done it. Even though I'm from West Dallas, I've never done it. Okay, and I'm from the old West Dallas. I ain't talking about this new gentrified West Dallas. Okay, so I'm just like, what the heck? Okay, that's fine. That's cool. Went down there. This is when like it looks a lot different. 45 was like right across from McDonald's. There used to be what we call the birdcage. It was K's Tower, okay, and
Okay.
that's where our personnel was. And so I went there. I filled out application, but it wasn't for the security guards. I was
Mm.
like, well, they told me this is where I'm supposed to go. They was like, well, it's not, but we do have other positions. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, I need a job and I need like a full time job because I was just only working part time. So I was like, well, what do I need to do? So I said, well, I don't know nothing about the jail, so I don't think I want to work in the jail. So they was like, well, we have clerk positions. So I was like, okay, that's fine. I said, you know what, this is good because I do 10 key. I don't know if you know what 10 key is, Lord. Tell me you know what 10 key is.
Well, I'm from Alabama, so
Oh my God. It does.
yeah,
Oh my God. Oh my God. I feel real old now.
yeah.
So, so my one of my responsibilities was checking the driver's times at my old job.
Okay.
So, oh my God, people don't know what Tinky is. It is so crazy. You're not the first person. It's quite a few
Yeah.
people. So, so I said, all right, well, I do this here at my job that I'm currently at right now. So the officer who was a DSO, because they had DSOs like doing like a lot of the jobs and personnel. So he was like, all you gotta do is just take a typing test. Lord Jackson, when I tell you I got so nervous, I took the test 3 times and I failed all 3 times. I was like, by like literally by one. I was like, I can't believe I can't type 25 minutes, 25 words per minute. Are you freaking kidding me? And I could type really fast, but I was so nervous. I was like really, really nervous. I was like, man, what in the world? I don't know. So I was like, okay, well, I guess this is cool. When they offered, when they told me about the DSO position, asked me if I knew what a DSO was. I didn't know what that was. But they told me, oh, it pays $11. Well, actually, it pays like $10 and something an hour. I was like, okay, that's cool. And so that was like, okay, the only thing you need to do, and I was already there, is like go take a polygraph, go take a drug test, and what else? And we had to do a background check.
Hmm.
I was like, okay, I can do that. Jackson, when I tell you I still didn't know what a DSO was, I did not know. I did not know what a DSO was. I was like, Jesus Christ, what the hell is it? So I was like, I was like, that's fine. I can do it. Whatever it is, I can do it. So I did that. I did the polygraph, did the drug test. I did the the background check. Everything came out great. Um, first day, first day, first day showing up, I was so like when I tell you, I was just so impressed because my one of my supervisors, which was my lieutenant, was a black officer. And
Okay.
when I tell you, I was just so like in awe. I was like, man, this is great because I had never seen a black female in a high position.
Mm.
And I was like, man, this is great. I was like, man, I like this, but what the hell is a DSO?
Answer that
What is
question.
it? I was like, I don't know what it is. And so, and that's basically what happened. They actually gave me, my training officer was Mr. Wright. you know him. I give my
Oh
props to Mr. Wright so many times because he really, when I tell you, Mr. Wright took care of me, he took care of me so
yeah.
much. And so I was like, oh my goodness, like you're awesome. So I worked midnights. Like I said, I was on midnights for like 7 years. And I was like, oh my goodness, okay. And I loved my job. When I tell you I loved my job, it was great. I loved it. Now what and I was there when Bowles was there. Sheriff Bowles was there. That's when I started. I didn't even know who that man was during our look during our no, I mean I'm like for real. I did not know who that man was at all. I didn't know that man. So look, during our academy, he came in. He was like, "This is my jail, and if you don't like it, you can get out." And I was like, "I said, who is?" You know, by that time, I did learn what a DSO was. Okay,
Mm.
and I was like, "Who is this man right here? And why is he talking to us like this?" They were like, "That's the sheriff." I was like, "Oh, okay." But still, that doesn't give you the right to talk to people like that. Like, are you fucking kidding? Are you for real? Are you kidding me? Don't talk to me like that. So, that was my feisty days. But, I still think that there are things that the sheriff's department can definitely do to improve the sheriff's department. But as far as Sheriff Brown, I really like Sheriff Brown. Like, and I know her from my area because she worked in Duncanville, so I remember seeing her. And so, but as far as being super nice, she's really nice. I like her a lot. I voted for her. Um, but there are things that I still feel like, and it doesn't matter if I like her or not. There are things that needs to be done within our department to make it better. Period. And I don't mind saying it. And I just said it right now. Because we have wonderful ideas. There are a lot of DSOs that are super smart, that have degrees, that have masters, that have management skills, and they know exactly what they're doing. They know how to do it. I read some of these reports from these officers, and I'm like, what are you even doing here? Like your report is awesome. Like what the heck? I'm just like wondering, like what in the world? Like your report is great. Like you speak well, you have so many good ideas. And when I talk to officers, because they tell me a lot, and it's not just one, because I've been, people have said, "Oh, you show favoritism." No, I don't, because I treat everybody the same,
You do.
sweetheart. I treat everybody the same. I'm nice to everybody. Now, yes, I'm a Southern girl, so I'm gonna say "little baby" or "hey love" or whatever. Yeah, I probably shouldn't say that. And I've been working on that because I'm not everybody understand that, and I realize there's a lot of transplants that are not from Texas, and they don't get it that that's a Southern thing. So
Right.
that's something that I got to practice on. But there are a lot of officers that have so many good ideas. There are a lot of officers, and I'm just like, man, if they knew or if they were heard, it would be so good. It would be so good. I think this here department it'd be so much better because we have so many good officers. Now, hey, I ain't saying everybody is a good officer, but I'm saying that they are good officers and they
Yeah.
should be heard.
Yeah, most doubt. I mean, I agree with you 1,000%. No, all about working together, effective communicating, working together, everybody pulling their load. And the job
Hmm.
ain't that bad because once everybody works together, I'm not saying you got a few people who will work together, get the job done. It makes the job great for 8, 16 hours. And
Hmm.
that's how I look at it because some of the guys, of course, get along, talk, a lot of guys, but they still get the job done when it's time to get the
Yeah.
job done.
Oh
And
yeah.
that's the most beautiful thing about it.
Hmm. Hmm. I can't look. I even got to give my props to these females, okay? Because I know you didn't mention them, but I'm gonna give my props to the
Hey, go ahead.
females. I'm just saying
I mean, they hold
because
it down too. They do. They
because
do.
even though we have young ones that work that floor, Dealing with those female inmates
Oh
can
yeah,
be
yeah,
very challenging, and they get it done. So that is, when I tell you that is, they're doing an excellent job. They are. Now,
they
if
are.
only they can just come to work, or you know what I'm saying, if if there are things that they can do that is better, I can give them a positive PNC. I would love to do that, but I still try to tell them that they do a good job because I feel like they do a good job.
They
No
do.
one
They
wants to
really
work
do.
with the females, but they do it, and they do it every day, and they get
Yeah,
it
that's a
done. Yeah. Oh yeah.
yeah,
Oh yeah.
that's a
Yeah.
lot. They
So,
really do.
but yeah.
Especially a lot. I know you're out and about. I know about to ready to get off the air. So, do you have any final remarks for the listening audience gonna go back and listen to this right now or in the near future?
Okay. So I do say this, and I will say this. Please vote. Please do your research as far as who you're voting for in the next election. Um, if you're interested in this job, it's not a bad job at all. If you're interested in becoming a part of law enforcement, please do so. I think this is, I personally feel like this is where you need to be prior to becoming an officer because it will help you in the streets and it helps the person that you are helping. You know what I'm saying? So I do feel like that. Learn the laws. Please learn your laws. That's the only, I mean, like, that's pretty much I can say as a supervisor. That's what I can say. And so, that's it.
And that's it. And like I said, we're about to get ready to get off the air. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you everybody for hanging out with us, watching this show. I appreciate you. Sorry for hanging out with me, of course, on my show, and I'm glad you accepted the invitation. I will be back tonight here at 7 o'clock prime time. I will be interviewing stand-up comedian and podcast host Chuckles. Chuckles is on YouTube, so she will be our guest tonight. So I'll be back here tonight at 7 p.m. So man, y'all enjoy y'all Wednesday. Also, remember the graveyard. Everybody had one thing in common. They thought they were going to die one day,
Yeah.
and they did.
Yeah.
Let's live life like it doesn't last.
Um,
And most importantly, love yourself. Look yourself in the mirror. Tell yourself, I got you. Tell yourself, we're going to succeed. Tell yourself, we're going to conquer. Tell yourself, we are going to make it. And most important, tell yourself, I love you. And most importantly, just reach out to somebody. Tell somebody, send them a text. Hey, I thought about you. Just see how you doing. You never know what somebody's going through today. But
yeah.
so you have anything else you want to leave with us?
I think that's kind of, you know what I did, but I can't remember what it was. I was trying look, I was walking down a weird alley, so I was trying to block it. So I was like, I don't want the viewers to see it. So I was like, man, it's something else that I wanted to say. Yeah, it is something that I want to say. I want
Go
to
ahead.
say thank you for all the officers. You guys are doing an excellent job. Thank you because guess what? We couldn't do without you. Don't matter what a supervisor do, but guess what? We can't work the floors. If you're not there, guess what? We can't do it. We can't
Right.
pass inspection. We can't service the inmates. We can't do any of it without you. So thank you. Thank you
Well, we
for all your
appreciate
help
you.
and everything.
Oh,
So
most definitely, and appreciate it. And he didn't tell nobody you're a rapper too, because I know you be rapping. He didn't tell nobody that because it was one of the young guys, and you knew the song, and you was just going word to word with the guy. It was like, okay, you're a rapper too. He didn't tell nobody you be rapping.
oh my God, who heard that?
I heard it.
Oh my God. You know I grew up in the 90s, like in my teenage years. Oh my God. That is funny. Okay, I'm old now though. But I still know, yeah, yeah. I still can get down, but whatever.
Yeah, you ain't tell nobody you was a rapper, but I know you was rapping. Then I heard it when you was rapping, so I was like, okay, you're a
That
rapper
is
too.
so funny. Oh my God.
But the
Yes,
guy knew what you were saying. Like you heard the song and you knew you was saying. He just going word for word with him. He was just going ahead rocking to it. Like okay,
that is funny. Oh my God. Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. Thanks to my husband who actually is like, yeah, that's how, I mean, we've been together since like college. So yeah, he was my college sweetheart. and we're still married to this day.
Oh,
23. It's, I mean, it's going on, 23 years, but
hey,
so
that's a long
don't
time.
ask me how long we've been married, because I never get that right. So, but whatever. I never get it right. I don't know why, but I never get it right. Telling you, I don't. But hey, that doesn't make me love him any less. But he's the rapper. Like, when I tell you, that's what really made me like,
Okay.
oh my God, what? Like, he's such a good rapper, man. I was like, you man, okay. I like you a little bit. You cute too, and I like you. Okay. All right. But
So,
yeah.
so you love music. So, what artists? I know you said in the '90s, and we know we had great music and stuff. I was born in the '80s. I was born in '82. So,
Mhm.
what artists? What are you listening to? The older artists, or are you listening to any newer artists right now?
So I listen to both. I listen
Okay.
to both. So, and it's funny because we always talk about music. Um, my husband actually is a producer,
Okay.
and yeah, like he literally had you know stuff on the table, but it just wasn't good deal. So that's the reason why that's the reason why I ain't living in a big ass house right now. But okay, whatever. So it wasn't a good deal. I didn't want him to be. That's a lifelong deal. No, no, sir.
Oh,
Yeah, it
wow.
was like that. So but I think in today's time, I think Kendrick Lamar is great. I
Oh
think
yeah,
he's
he
a
is.
really he has substance. He talks about things. He's good. I like J. Cole. We're talking
Okay.
about new artists. J. Cole is a good rapper to me. Um, old rappers, and I can only go with my old rappers, like my because I'm an older lady. So I mean, Tupac is my favorite. I can't lie. Tupac is my favorite. He's my choice number one.
Okay.
Um, I do like Snoop. Snoop had a lot of hits, and it was very catchy. I know every word to Snoop Dogg's every song. um, Dre is a good producer. I'm not gonna say he's a great rapper, but he's a good ass producer.
Oh yeah, Dre the Goat.
Um,
He
oh
is.
yeah. Oh man, when I was talking about producing, oh yeah, he is what it is. And we're talking about rappers who do their own music because I'm really big. Okay. Oh, I forgot. Oh God, yo, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. How could I forget this? Nikki, Nikki is the best female rapper out there. I don't care what nobody say. Nicki Minaj is the best female out there. She does her own rhymes. It is what it is.
Yep.
Now, her as far as like her what she talks about, it might be like vulgar, but when I tell you witty, this girl got some witty stuff. And I'm just like, okay, well damn, I like that. So she's good. I mean, she's good. I'm gonna give like, okay, I'm not gonna say she's like one of the best. I'm definitely not gonna say that, but I definitely give her props. Um, I think Megan is really good. She can be really good. I wish her mom was there to guide her more. Um, but she writes her own rhymes as well. She's good. But there are other rappers that isn't mainstream, so that are really really good. Um, that's a rapper right now that doesn't even use curse words, that doesn't do anything. But I mean, she's just not to me. She's just not catchy. But
Okay.
and she doesn't show herself, and I think that's kind of what it is. I think that's just what it is. But it doesn't mean that she's not a bad rapper. Um, I don't know her name. It's sad, but when I find out, I'll let you know. Cause I've heard my husband mention her a couple times, and I've heard her music. So but I was like, dang, she does well, and she doesn't use any vulgar or cuss language. So that's like, okay, I'm gonna give you your props. Um, so there are other people. Um, let's see. Dang it. Okay, so a lot of people are gonna disagree with me on this, but I don't care. I do not think Biggie does not make my list.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm not. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I mean, Pac
Yeah,
is always number one, and
yeah,
because he. So I
yeah.
feel you.
He doesn't make my list. Sorry, he don't make it. Eminem was good at his
Oh yeah, I
time,
love
but
Eminem. I love
Eminem was
Eminem.
definitely good. He's witty as hell. And that's what I like. I like people that talks about substance and that
Right.
could. Oh, okay, that's what they're talking about. I don't like this here. I don't know what you're saying. Believe it or not, Lil Wayne is a fucking good ass rapper,
Well, you
man.
know, when he
When
first started, he wasn't cut when he first started, but he was really good at that
he was
time when he first.
excellent. Lil
Yeah.
Wayne is a good ass rapper because well, I think he let the drugs get to him. I just I don't know that lean all that stuff. You couldn't even understand what he was saying. I was like, what the hell is going on with Lil Wayne? But now it's like Lil Wayne is good. I'm sorry, hands down when he's sober, I guess he's
Yeah.
good. He's good as
Well,
hell.
he didn't have to cuss though. When he first started, he wasn't cussing, but that's how
Mm-mm.
good that he was.
Yeah, that's how good he was. He was really really good. Um, let's see. It's so many. Oh my god! And I love music. I love it. I love
So,
music.
what song would describe your personality?
Oh man, what song would describe my personality? It got to be something from Nicki. Sorry,
You
I
know, I
just feel
gotta
like
feel you gonna go that route because the creativity and stuff like that.
yeah, it got to be something from her. I mean, it just and it's nothing in particular, but it's nothing in particular, but it's really good. I don't know. It was either right now, and we're talking about right now. Right now,
Hmm.
it will probably be Nicki, or probably be something from Kendrick Lamar. So that would be me. My old me would definitely be something from Tupac, like, cause I thought I was a whole gangster. Oh, oh yeah,
So,
yeah.
on your way to work, what do you listen
Mhm.
to your way to work? I know some people listen to music on their way to work because they feel some type of way when you be motivated, pumped, whatever. So, what type of music you listen to on your way?
You want to know the truth? I don't listen to
Yeah, go ahead.
anything. I don't
Oh,
listen
you
to
don't?
anything. Nope. I enjoy the quietness. I like quiet. I'm To be perfectly honest, I'm talking a lot now, but I'm very introverted. And people don't even realize that, but I'm very introverted. I guess that's the cancer in me. I don't know, but I'm a big video game advocate.
Oh
Advocate.
yeah, I see on TikTok you go by. Yeah, why you bring that up that you are a gamer? Cause on TikTok, I follow you on TikTok. You got gamer. I seen that. So you're a big. So you're a rapper. You play video games. You are an athlete. I mentioned that you said when you grew up you was an athlete.
Yeah.
So you're a very unique woman. So what else that we don't know about you? Because you
So
video
I did
games.
coach. I coached basketball for like maybe 4 years. I coached volleyball for 2 years. I played basketball. I ran track. I had a whole bunch of medals. At, but you know what? It means nothing. But it means nothing to me because I feel like I don't know, that was in the past, and I look towards the future. And I think after my brush with death, like when I tell you, Jackson, I damn near died. Like COVID almost took me out. COVID almost took me out. Almost died in third grade from drowning. I should have died. Should have died. Um, they don't understand why I didn't, but I don't. I'm still here. Um, Following year, I had my tonsils removed, and literally, it was a nick that caused severe bleeding. I was like damn near bleeding out. So, yeah. But I'm still here. So three times the charm, right? So
Right.
I'm just like, Lord, what are you asking me to do? So that's why I'm like, God is asking me to do something. I don't know what it is, and it might not just be for me. It might be for somebody else. So that's how I look at it. It might not be for me. Obviously, it's not for me. I'm about to be 43 years old. So, and I feel like I've have made a difference in a lot of lives of a lot of different people. So, and I think that's why I'm here. I think that is why I'm still here. You know, not just my kids, but strangers, different people. I mean, oh my God, one of the scariest moments, Jackson, I'll never forget. One of the scariest moments. And I got to realize, and realize this here. My husband always tells me this. You always put people first and you could literally die. But one morning I was going to work and I was in the fast lane. I drive fast. Um, but I ain't say that, police. But I do. Long as I ain't been scanned. But I came across a whole bunch of stuff like debris inside the in the street. And then I realized I looked close. I had to stop. I was like, what is all this? I looked closer and it was a body in the street. Well, this lady was trying to cross the highway and she literally got hit by a truck.
Mm.
I couldn't go anywhere because my car was literally right there and her body was like literally in front.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So I was like, oh God, oh God. It was morning traffic and people was going fast as hell. And I was like, oh my God, what do I do? And I was like, you know what to do. Get your ass out and help this lady. I was like, you know what to do. So I always keep a first aid kit in my car and I
Okay.
always keep gloves. Always. Always. I always do that. The only thing I don't have in my
I'm
car
just
right
learning
now.
about you.
Yeah, but I always do that, and that was one of the reasons why. I don't know why, but something told me to do it, and I did it. Maybe a month or 2 months prior to that incident happening. And when I tell you, she had a lot of blood everywhere. She did. So thank God I did. So I had gloves that I put on, and so I got out. The lady was unconscious. I thought this lady was dead. And I got so nervous. My heart was like, I was like, oh my God, oh my God. I called 911. But baby, I gave them the wrong direction. I said south. I was supposed to say north. I'm seeing them going the opposite direction. I called back. I said, no, 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 no. Y'all going the wrong way. And then just so happened this guy stopped by. He stopped. Now, mind you, no one stopped. No one else stopped. They kept going. We were so close. Like, okay, you see this line? Here's
Mm.
the accident.
Hmm.
Here's the traffic. Yeah, it was bad. It was just that fast. People were like driving so fast. And I was scared. I was like, oh my God, I was thinking to myself, I said, we're gonna get hit and we're gonna die. I was like, God, please don't let us die. Lord, please don't let us die. And so the guy was like, do you have any additional gloves? I'm like, no, I don't. I said, but look, she's still alive. I checked her pulse. She was still alive. I said, if she becomes conscious, we got to hold her down. I said, because we don't want her to be paralyzed or anything like that. Well, lo and behold, she became conscious, right? And that's exactly what she started doing. She started fighting because she didn't know what was going on. So I was like, Jesus Christ, don't you know that man left me?
Oh wow.
I was like, Jesus Christ, he left me. I was like, well, damn. He was like, he left me. So police came and they're asking me questions. They're like talking to me crazy. I'm like, y'all don't see this? No sympathy, no empathy, nothing. I'm just like, it doesn't matter if she's homeless or whatever. She is a person that is in distress. She is hurt. Show compassion to this lady, period. And so the ambulance arrived, thank God. And thank God someone from Parkland, someone for shot told me that she made it. So I was like, thank you, God. Thank you,
Yeah.
God. So I was like, you gotta stop this. Like I gotta stop this and crap. That wasn't the first incident that I've done that to. But I was like, Lord, I keep on stopping, putting myself in these positions. So I was like, what the heck are you doing? But you know what? My daughter has been with me when I've done it, and I feel like that teaches her a lesson. Because I'm like, recently, I don't know, well, no one know, but my daughter was in an accident. She flipped her car 6 times. Flipped her car 6 times. I thought she was dead. Do you hear me?
Hmm.
And I wouldn't know what to do if something happened to my kids. But she was okay. She was okay.
That's the important thing.
And oh my God, she was okay. And I was like, thank you, God. And I think about that. I was like, I wonder is all these times that I helped, was that you, God? Was that you telling me like this? Yes. This is the reason why. So I was like, thank you, God. So, but anyway, enough about that. But
But like I said,
God,
I mean, you're a very special woman, and I appreciate you. I thank God to cross paths with you and everything else. I truly appreciate it. Of course, this episode is about you because you're in the background, of course. So it's about you, and I appreciate you once again for just hanging out,
of
talking,
course,
just your experience, just you being. I mean, you down to earth, you yourself, and you're always yourself. You don't look down on nobody else. You just always yourself, and like you always there. We call, you show up. You always there. You ask what's going on. You get in. You take the initiative, and I know that you like people who takes the initiative. And I noticed that about you
yeah,
too. That people get in, take the initiative, because it makes the job easy when you get okay, what's the plan, what's going on, and explain everything
hmm
to you. You can take it from there.
yep,
So,
yep,
so I know 20 going on 23 years. So I know a lot of time when people retire, they go off and do post retirement stuff where they may come back. Would you always consider like coming back post retirement, like teach at the academy or so? I'm just asking a question as an interviewer, like teach a class or something, or
if I was to teach a class, yeah, because I love teaching. I love it. I love it. Absolutely love it. That's what I do love. So that's why I hate that they have stopped the mental health class in the jail because we definitely need it. Um, but I love it. I absolutely love it. It's great. And it helped me because like I told you, I was very introverted. I'm introverted now. You can imagine how introverted I was. Like I ain't talk to nobody.
I can't
So
tell until you say something about it.
oh man, I ain't talk to nobody. So this actually me teaching actually helped me learn how to do that and learn oh shit.
You think we yeah, pros? I think she rose. Oh man, well, like I said, we appreciate everybody hanging out with us here on the podcast. Like I said, we're gonna be back here tonight on Walking This Way's Impact Was podcast. So man, I'm your host, Furman Jackson Jr. Of course, we'll be back here tonight, here on Walking This Way Impact Was podcast. I gotta give a big shout out to my supervisor for hanging out with me. Great woman. I appreciate it once again, down to earth. And like I said, man, we want everybody to have a great day. And we're gonna be back here tonight at 7 p.m. on Walking This Way Impact Was podcast.